reasonable doubt of all but one of 82 counts in the indictment, along with the multiple specifications that were submitted to them. And of those verdicts, 21 were for aggravated murder. And for those counts, the jury found the defendant guilty of purposely causing the deaths of Tanya Carmichael, Nancy Cobbs, Sean Culver, Crystal Dozier, Alicia Fortson, Imelda Hunter, LaShonda Long, Michelle Mason, Kim Yvette Smith, Janice Webb, and Diane Turner. And those were with prior calculation and design.
Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor, guys, as you come in. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. Let's get to it.
And course of conduct specifications associated with each of those charges of aggravated murder. And the jury also found the defendant purposely attempted to kill Latundra Billups, Sean Morris, and Gladys Wade. Jury also found the defendant guilty on the other charges, which were kidnapping in counts 3, 4, 9, 10, 15, 16, 21, 22, 27, 28, 33, 34, 45, 46, 51, 52, 57, 58, 63, 64, 67, 68, 74, 75, 80, and 81. Jury found the defendant guilty of abuse of a corpse in counts 5, 11, 17, 23, 29, 35, 41, 47, 53, 59, and 65. Also, the jury found the defendant guilty of tampering with evidence in counts 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, and 66. Attempted murder, again, of Latundra Billups, Sean Morris, and Gladys Wade in counts 69, 76, and 82. Felonious assault victims in counts 70, 71, 77, and 83. And rape in counts 72, 73, 76, and 79. Also attempted rape in count 84. Now, that was the jury's verdicts on July 22nd. On July 27th, there was a bifurcated proceeding in this case. In other words, the defendant waived the trial by jury on certain of the specifications associated with the counts in the indictment, and the court did conduct a bench trial on those specifications. After a trial to the court found the defendant guilty of the repeat violent offender, sexually violent offender, and the notice of prior conviction specifications associated with the remaining counts of the indictment. The court then advised the defendant that the case would go forward to the jury for consideration during the sentencing phase. The defendant waived his right to a pre-sentence investigation, a mental health examination, but did exercise his right to make an unsworn statement at the sentencing hearing. Sentencing phase. The state reintroduced the evidence that it had introduced during the trial phase and then rested. The defense called 25 witnesses to the stand, including the defendant who gave his unsworn statement, and the state called 2 witnesses in rebuttal. The parties did submit to the jury for consideration at the close of all the evidence. On August 10, 2011, the jury found that the aggravating circumstances of the felony murder and course of conduct specifications associated with each count of aggravated murder outweighed the mitigating and returned a verdict recommending that the sentence of death be imposed on Anthony Sowell.
Okay, people, that is Anthony Edward Sowell, also known as the Cleveland Strangler, right? Now, to me, in that clip right there, didn't it look like he was asleep when they was reading off those charges to this brother? It looked like he was dead asleep right there. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but it looked like he was asleep. Now, Anthony Edward Sowell was born and raised in East Cleveland, Ohio, one of 7 children born to a single parent, Claudia Gertrude Garrison. 7 other children belonging to Sowell's sister also lived in the household. Having moved in after the death Following a chronic illness, according to Sal's niece, Leona Davis, Garrison subjected them to physical abuse while her own children watched from adjacent rooms. In one incident, Garrison forced Davis to strip naked in front of the other children, then whipped her with electrical cords until she bled. Sal himself began raping his niece on almost a daily basis for 2 years, starting when she was just 10 years old. It was reported by Davis that other males in the household also committed rapes. Now, I just wanted to put that out there because I wanted to say maybe this might had something to do in his background that led this man to commit these horrible crimes that he committed, in the future that we're going to get into, right? Now, in 1989, a woman who was 3 months pregnant attempted to leave Sal's home. He bound her hands and feet with a tie and a belt, then gagged her with a rag. He choked me real hard, she told the police, because my body started tingling. I thought I was going to die. He was charged with kidnapping, rape, and attempted rape. Now, he pled guilty to rape and served 15 years in prison, and he was released in 2005. So he spent from 1989 to 2005. That's a long time. That's 15 years, right? And so let's fast forward and see and see what this guy does when he gets out of jail. So now Sal worked in a factory until 2007. So from 2005 to 2007, he worked into a factory. When he began collecting unemployment benefits, neighbors said he earned a living by selling scrap metal. They complained to the health department of a foul smell in the neighborhood. He was a member of an online dating service where he said he was a master looking for a submissive person to train. Now, Lori Frazier, a niece of Cleveland Mayor Frank G. Jackson, began a relationship with Sal shortly after the release from prison, and she resided in his home. She said she smelled decaying bodies and was told the smell was coming from Sal's stepmother when she moved out. Now, that's crazy, right? Who would believe a story like that? She said the smell was from Ray's sausage shop located next door. Now, do you guys remember this? I remember when this story came out way back when this happened, right? But I don't think it got the attention it deserved because 11 African American women were killed, and the lifestyles that they led, the police wasn't concerned about that, right? Maybe if it was, some more affluent people who were being killed of a different race, he might not have got away with killing 11 people. Now, in September 2009, Sal invited LaTronda Billups to his home for a drink. On September 22nd, she told police that after a few drinks, he became angry and hit her and choked and raped her as she passed out. On October 29th, police arrived at his home with an arrest warrant, and he wasn't there, but he was located and arrested 2 days later. The bodies of 2 women were buried in a shallow grave in the basement, and 4 other women were found on the 3rd floor of the home in a crawl space. After digging in the backyard, investigators found 3 more bodies and partial remains of a 4th. A human skull and a bucket inside the house brought the body count up to 11. Most of the victims were killed by manual strangulations, and others were gagged and had ligatures on their bodies when they were discovered. Saul also raped 3 women that he lured to his property with the invitation to smoke crack cocaine with them. And I believe that's how he got a lot of these women to go inside that house with him, right? Because you can only imagine if those people were going inside that house after he done killed 3-4 women. I know as soon as they walked in that door, they had to smell something, right? And their antennas had to go up. But I think that when you're in a desperate state of smoking crack and you're not thinking with your right mind, that addiction is so strong that it'll have you in certain situations that can have your life taken from you. Now, at the time of his arrest, Sal was 50 years old. He had been living at that location for 4 years. He was held on a $5 million bond. His trial was originally supposed to start on June 2nd, 2010. Sal was charged with 11 counts of aggravated murder and 74 counts of rape, kidnapping, tampering with evidence, and abuse of corpse. He pled not guilty by reason of insanity, but later changed his plea to simply not guilty. On July 22nd, 2011, he was convicted on all but 2 counts, including the murders of 11 women whose bodies were found in his house in 2009. The jury recommended the death penalty. On September 14th, he was placed on death row and imprisoned at Chillicothe Correctional Institution. Now, after Saul's conviction in December 2011, his former residence at 12205 Imperial Avenue was demolished by the order of city leaders. He was incarcerated at Chillicothe Correctional Institution, and for nearly 10 years, this is where Sowell remained, until the 21st of January 2021, when Sowell was transferred to the Franklin Medical Center in Columbus to begin receiving end-of-life care for an unspecific terminal illness. Sowell remained at the Franklin Medical Center until his death, which was February the 8th, 2021. That's all I got for you guys on Anthony Sowell. But I don't know if you guys really remember that case that happened back in what year was that? 2000. Was that 2005? They say that word? Yeah, 2005 is when he started killing. Because you got to remember, right? He was in jail from 1989 to 2005, and then from 2005 to 2007, he killed 11 people. So just think, if this guy didn't go to jail for those 15 years, there's no telling how many people this guy would have ended up killing. And we don't know if those are all the he killed, right? We don't know. We don't know if that's all the people that this man has murdered. But like I said before, that's all I got for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this, the content. Do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. We out.